Good day, everyone. So today I'm going to discuss some of the examples of logical fallacies. So the examples that I'm going to discuss is the inconsistency fallacies, denying the antecedent, affirming the consequent, straw man, irrelevant conclusion, and complex cause. But before we start on the first example, let me tell you what exactly is a logical fallacy. Well, logical fallacies is an error of reasoning that makes your argument less effective and convincing. So now let's start on our first example, which is the inconsistency fallacy. This fallacy is a statement that is a contradiction. In such case, an argument or a stance often erroneous and flawed, mainly because of the promotion of two different beliefs. Moreover, these beliefs are not consistent logically. An example of this fallacy is Christy claimed that she is a strict vegan, yet she was seen eating a hamburger last week. So, this is an example of inconsistency fallacies because Christy claimed that she is a strict vegan and her action being seen eating a hamburger, which means it is an inconsistency on her stated belief and her actions. Our next example is denying the antecedent. Denying the antecedent is a formal fallacy that occurs when someone assumes that the antecedent of a correlational statement is false, then the consequent must also be false. An example to this is if there's a smoke, then there's a fire. The denial antecedent occurs because it assumes that the absence of smoke is necessarily means absence of fire, which is not always true. Our third example is affirming the consequent. Affirming the consequent is a formal fallacy that occurs when someone infers the truth of the antecedent of the correlational statement from the truth of the consequent. An example to this, it's a mammal. It gives birth to a live young. The statement it's a mammal inferred to the it gives birth to a live mammal and it gives birth to a live young is a fallacious reasoning because there are other ways of giving birth of a live young while not being a mammal. The next is the straw man. The next example is the straw man. Straw man involves deliberate distortion of another person's argument by oversimplifying and exaggerating it. The other party creates an easy to refuse argument and attacks it. An example to this is Anna saying that I think we should mute the debater's microphone when the opponent's turn so that they can't interrupt it. While Grace replied that I disagree because I support free speech. Our next example is the irrelevant conclusion. Irrelevant conclusion is committed when the conclusion changes the point that is the issue in the premises. The example to this is all through the dealership of the cars has a great coffee machine. It doesn't mean that the cars are reliable. This is an example because of the shifting of the focus from the reliable cars to the quality of the coffee machines. Our next example is a complex cause. Complex cause refers to the situation where multiple factors interact to produce an outcome. These factors can be interconnected and may influence each other in various ways. Example to this is an outbreak of a disease such as a COVID-19, where factors such as environment, popular density, healthcare, hygiene practices, and individual behavior all play a role on its spreading. So, that's all, and thank you for watching.